We are back with the 85 79. This thing had a bunch of junk in it. Started blowing it out. There's a lot of nuts and shit in this one. It is really gross, but it might clean up to be somewhat decent. Find some cool stuff. Floors aren't too bad in it. It's not compared to the 79. Those are cooked. But look at this beauty out here. Fuel tank straps. I believe both of them are broken on this thing, but the tank is not hitting the ground, surprisingly enough. And got a little bit of smoking from the engine bay after I was running. The brakes barely work, so going to revisit that once we're done cleaning the interior. But that's where we're at right now. Gonna finish cleaning this and then we'll be back. Alright, well, pulled the seat out of the 85. Cleaned it out. You know, this thing's a bit rusty, especially in the corners there, but not too bad overall. Stereo works. Oh, that little light there works. And that's all the crap that came out of it. Gonna clean up the seat there. Was pulling the wheels. Front brakes. I mean, the pads are good. There's plenty of life there. Rotors are rusty and they don't spin very well, but I think if it's driven enough, it'll be fine. But check the master cylinder. The front, or not the front, the rears keep leaking all the fluid out. So then I pulled one of the wheels off, but from the looks of it, I gotta pull the axle and the entire hub and all that off to take these drums off. So I'm not gonna do that today. Also found out that the front fuel tank, both the straps seem to be snapped. And I don't know how that thing's staying in there right now, but it is. Rear tank is fine though, we even got a spare tire. But yes, for right now I'm gonna try to clean some things up on this thing and see if I can find out where the leak's coming from, whether it's a wheel cylinder, a line, or whatnot on it, and then throw the interior back together and see if driving it around the property helps at all with the brakes. Probably not though, but we can always try. And then we got Henry over there fucking with that big ass truck that's fucking seized. Jesus Christ. So here's another section of the video. I got the 79 off the property and to my place, and gonna start clean the thing up, gave it a rough wash. This thing is, the whole bottom of the cab is rotted. The cab corners are gone. Floors are really bad, and someone just botched it by putting thin sheet metal on it and self-tappering it in, and that's all gonna have to be redone. There's immense Bondo work that's been done to the back of this thing. All the metal around the back glass is bubbling and shit. Probably gonna have to pull the rear glass at some point, if I'm being honest. But I'm also not trying to make this thing perfect, but I am trying to cover up these random holes where something was mounted. Fix that. The fenders aren't bad. Up here is pretty bad. Leaks water. Probably another reason why the dash is all cracked and messed up there. The front of this hood's pretty rotted. I've sourced a bumper. We'll be getting a bumper soon from the dude off of Marketplace, but that's not happening for another week. About next weekend I'll be picking that up. But in the meantime, before we get to the heavy stuff of fab work and all that, I'm gonna start with dealing with this really ugly, half-rotted wooden bed that's on this truck that is just held on with some baling wire and rope and other crap, and gonna really give us a good idea of the condition of the frame under here, because this rear cross member is rotted out. There's seems to be original hitch, but this is all rotted, all that. We got this big beefy bumper, which I do like and I would like to keep. It's bent pretty bad right here, and I'd like to see if I can get that straightened out. Not sure how. And also the welds on the entire back here are all pretty questionable. So at some point I'm gonna have to pull this all out, get some new metal, re-weld it, that sort of thing. But for right now, I'm gonna start with pulling this bed off and seeing what we got to work with. Got a whole nother pile of wood behind that hood, along with other stuff over at my homie's place, because we just pulled the wooden bed off of his Cat Eye, which he bought a good rust-free Southern bed to slap on that thing in the meantime while it's sitting motorless. That's the 6.0 that was in it right there that we are currently rebuilding, but we'll see if I release a video about that or not. So yeah, for right now, I'm gonna take some time, rip this bed off, and then we'll be back to see how rough the frame really is underneath.
This nut is not attached to the bracket at all. There's literally like a gap where the...
Huh? What are you talking about? It's connected.
Okay, maybe it is.
No, it's meant to be out like that.
No, I understand that, but look at this side. This side has got like
All right, so the
4
frame,
times the thickness.
the frame's pretty questionable.
The leaf spring mount.
Okay, so she's not necessarily a heavy hauler. There's been some custom work done. Cross member needs to be replaced. This hitch is cooked. You ever seen a truck with dual hitch? In case one breaks off, we got another.
The fucking second hitch is mounted to the first hitch, man.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Parker, this, I don't know what this
We
is
got a nice,
called. This
nice
is
frame
toast.
patch
This thing
right here.
Holding your leaf pack together, toast.
Huh?
This is toast.
Oh,
Completely.
this one on this side's great.
This one is fine. This one is completely garbage.
The sway bar link, that's fine. That's also in addition to the Ranger package, is the rear sway bar link. Pretty nice. Yeah, so she's crusty and really showing off all the crust right now. But,
It's Marine Corps.
oh yeah. So,
Oh, this don't work.
yeah, it's going to need some work. The parking brake doesn't work, and it won't work for the foreseeable future because I have never needed one and still won't. Hey, that was the housing around a wire that I don't know what it goes to now.
It's this green one.
Well, I still don't know what it goes to.
No, I feel like it's more helpful green than that.
Yep, needs some work, but you best be sure we're polishing up that chrome diff cover.
Mine's more chrome.
But you see parts of the frame like right here? They're not crusty.
Here's some.
It's savable.
Here's some more. Yeah, that's toast. That needs to be replaced.
That is oddly bad, I will admit.
That's like weirdly bad. Especially because
That is weirdly bad,
the
yeah,
others
right
look
there.
totally fine.
Yeah, that's fine. The other
This
ones are
looks like
fine.
it's about I could like hit it with a chisel and it would break in half.
I thought there's a spider there. It was not. But hey, sway bar links are intact. All the major components are intact. But yeah, she's a rat box.
Some sort of demon spider living in here. I can see thick ass webs inside this cross member. Here.
That's a fuzzy
Yeah, I'm gonna burn it.
like seed thing. Yeah, feel free to do what you want, man. So yeah, gonna start cleaning this up. But it has a big modern fuel tank in it instead of the 2 metal tanks that came in this truck, which probably decreased the amount of fuel it can hold, but also those tanks rot out and all that crap. But yeah, this is very questionable, and I do not like this. So yeah, there's the update. The frame is rough, needs some work. Gonna start working on it. All right, new update in the video on the 79 right now. Spent about a day at my place this past weekend cleaning up the frame on it. Got it nice and painted, been needle scaling the whole thing. It looks pretty nice from a few feet away. So, got that cleaned up. I got the old wood bed that was on this truck torn down. This was the frame of that truck, and it wasn't actually secured to the frame at all. It was just baling wire and some rope. So took the time to lay this back on it because I'm going to reuse this frame because it just saves me time and money doing so. and marked some holes and drilled them out. Now I got bolts and they all line up. I got 2 there, 2 somewhat in the middle, and then 2 in the back. So then this frame can stay bolted too. I gotta drill these down so I can recess the top of the bolt. Well, we'll have to see how that'll work, because I was gonna say I was gonna like recess these tops so they go into the wood, but low-key these 2 middle ones are pretty thin already, and I don't know if I'll be able to do that. But whatever, that's gonna be the progress on the bed so far. Got all the extra wood and stuff over there, but I'll see about filming some of that. I didn't film the actual like process of needle scaling because I wasn't thinking of it, and I'm doing some more right now. I'm taking care of the rear end sway bar, cleaning up the leaf springs and stuff, just so you know when I paint it, the paint doesn't immediately chip off. But I'm not filming this part because I like watching YouTube on my phone while doing this. But that is where we're at. The frame, the back half is looking pretty good. Got the bed started, and I'm gonna finish up needle scaling tonight, and then continue on with the bed. And tomorrow I'll be bringing the 85 here, and soon I'll be tearing into the brakes on that thing. It's got a bad rear brake line, got to replace that. And I can't imagine the rear drums will do much once I get those working again, or get a good brake line to it. I'm gonna have to tear those apart, and it's gonna be a pain in the ass because you gotta like tear apart the whole axle and all that. Same with this truck, because they have the same exact brakes. Luckily, both trucks are discs in the front. Those aren't nearly as big of a pain in the ass, but the massive drums in the rears on these trucks, you have to like, from the looks of it, pull the axles, whole hub assemblies, all that shit, which won't be fun, but the 85 is going to be the winter daily, so got to get that thing stopping somewhat good. So next clip will be either the working on the 85 or this one or something, progress. Well, before the next section where we do some work, I thought I'd show, just why this truck was, I paid $1,000 for it. Some may say that's a great deal. Some may say I paid too much. But that all depends what you really think of what I'm about to show you, which is the state of the floors. So the entire back of the cab right here is no longer really connected, and it's a really big hole. And then same with rockers down here. This random sheet is the floor on this side. The trans tunnel is no better. There's still some small holes, and that side is slightly better. But yeah, to say the least, this truck is very rotted. It has probably been a New York truck its whole life, which explains a lot. So I'm not actually going to be patching any holes anytime soon. That's a next spring thing after I finish up, patching all the shit on the nice truck, because that thing needs work too, and that's getting holes and shit fixed before I care to do this shit. As long as the cab doesn't fall off, I'm okay with it, which right now it feels like it a little bit. But we got the main back cross member of the cab where the cab mounts actually bolt to it. That's solid. And at least the driver's side cab mount, which had been patched, that's solid. The only one that's really questionable is this front passenger one. That one is crumbly. I went and touched it underneath the truck, and it crumbled partially in my hands. Not all of it, because I didn't touch all of it. But yeah, it's a bit questionable. So that's why this truck was $1,000, and it's cheap, and I don't really care too much. To a lot of people, they'll probably think cleaning up the frame to this extent's too much too. The frame rotted through on the side of that fuel tank. That's why there's a big ass, like 1/4-inch thick plate that's welded and wrapped around. But I'm gonna have to drop the fuel tank to actually clean up and cut out the rot behind that. That way it doesn't rot out the rest of the frame, and then this thing doesn't snap going down a trail or some shit, because that matters. So, yeah, I thought I'd show you how effed up this one actually is. The 85 is not nearly as bad. That truck needs cab corners and some body work. And there might be 2 small, maybe baseball-sized holes in the floor, but it's not bad, especially compared to this rot box. But onward. Well, we're getting the 85 right now. This will be the first time this thing left this property since about 2009 or so. And we're on our way, boys. I haven't been in this thing over like 15 miles an hour, but I think the speedometer works. Whoa! Yeah, we'll have to see if it stays cool and like together and stuff, because I have no clue. It might be the sketchiest thing ever. It kind of is feeling like it right now. It's kind of, we're shaking a little bit, but that's probably because the flat tires on this thing. But hey, she's going, and we're going like 40 right now or something. It's whipping, dude. And it's raining outside. This is bad. Not a great idea. I can't see much because the windshield's covered in 15 years of filth, but I'm just hoping it doesn't shut off or run out of gas. And hoping we can make it to this gas station up here. The front brakes are the only thing that works, and honestly, they work a lot better than I thought they would. Probably because they're partially seized, but yeah, it's alright, it's alright. We're coming to a stop, we're chilling, all that. We got the sun visors and shit. And you know, the dash lights they're trying. They're sure trying. Ooh, listen to that baby purr. Oh boy. Shit smells like it's burning. But that's whatever. Of course, this is a great idea. The horn works though. Which, that's pretty sick. But yeah, this thing shakes pretty bad. Oh boy. I'm planning to daily drive this thing in about a month or so. And I may or may not be in over my head. But that's chill. I'm about to pull into the gas station. We'll be back when I get this thing home. Well, it made it back to the house. I didn't really expect to. The brakes were seizing and smoking. Jet said some big metal chunk fell out and there was a bunch of sparks. But it fucking made it. Good shit, now we can work on it. Here's another update on the 79. Went and picked up a front bumper, put it on the truck, looks mint. Pulled the fuel tank out to originally clean out the cross member, but the fuel tank is full of an ungodly amount of rust. There's a big patch done right here in the frame because this part of the frame is just completely rotted out.
It's a piece of literal fucking garbage.
Watch your profanity.
Watch your profanity.
And so, yeah, now we're in the process of cleaning this out, and then I'm going to cut out what I can of this rotted part of the frame. That way it doesn't keep rotting out up to like here, because the patch ends like here. And I need this to last. See, so that's the process.
I'll show you problem.
Huh?
I'll show you problem. Piece of shit new car.
Oh yeah, let's see the Honda.
You see this part of the connector? I seem to have lost O-ring, which is no good. I had O-ring earlier, it's still in that end. We flip over. Ooh, look what we see here. We see wire not going into connector terminal whatsoever, but it has been covered in goop. So it is permanently not going into connector whatsoever.
Oh wait, one of the wires got pulled out of the
Look at it! It's not in there at all.
Oh, I do see
Not
that
a
now.
single one of them bitches is in there.
Wow.
So I ordered a new this piece, so I can replace it because this is fucked up.
Just to make your wangle dangle
Well, I'm also gonna
air
not
intake
wangle.
work.
It's gonna be not wangled. Yeah, this fell and it was sitting right.
This riced out piece of garbage.
This air filter fell and was sitting.
Yeah, like down there or something.
But not on this bracket. It was all the way down on a plate.
Honda.
How does this? Honda. Is that?
This is why I deal with old Fords.
Rookie Park.
Huh.
How do you think? You're still recording. How do you think a bracket? Where do you think the best place to put a bracket for this would be? 'Cause I don't want to put it on the exhaust. That's weird. Here.
I don't know. I'll probably mount it, yeah, somewhere down there in the frame. And then, like, go up, since this is all open up at, like, an angle
That's
up to, like,
kinda what I meant.
under here or some
This
shit.
obviously needs to be on. I mean, this is fine. This is a nice Canon air intake. I looked it up. This piece right here. This is like $650.
Oh, my God. The thing people spend money on
Um,
is so dumb.
Which is why I want to keep it, because it's like, it's good. It sounds nice. You can hear the intake.
This truck was $1,000.
That truck over there,
$650.
This truck right here, oh, you can't see it. $700. The motor is over there on the patio. There's a cam going in.
Piece of garbage. All my trucks have motors in them.
Suck my nuts.
So, yeah, that's where we're at with the Ford right now. Going to keep cleaning up.
I challenge you to find the leak, though. There is not one. This is the only vehicle I've ever owned that didn't leak a single. Actually,
Guess what? Neither does the 85. The 85 don't leak a damn
the
thing.
Monte Carlo didn't leak anything either.
That thing was decent, yeah. So yeah, it's the update on the 79. I gotta flush out the tank because, and all the nice gas that I put in there that costs like $4 a gallon has to be dumped, which is a shame. But I can't be running straight rust. And then gotta clean up the frame here with this needle scaler and use an angle grinder and some other shit, and then paint it up and make it look decent, and then throw a tank back in it. But yeah, that's where we're at. All right, we're back at it tonight. Working on the 79 some more. The 85 at this point, that's going to be a separate video because there's just so much already in this one video I'm putting in that yeah, it's going to be way too long if I add that too, but there will be stuff on that truck too. So, back to this. Cleaned up the leaf springs, rear diff, painted that up somewhat. I want to clean up the chrome cover at some point, but I also do not care in the slightest about doing that. Got the tank dropped out last night, and yeah, the frame's pretty messed up right here. That's the patch, or this is the patch. This was the frame, this flaky spot that there's no holes through. So I got to cut that shit out. And then I realized the cross member holding up the cab, that is now bending. Hence, I can barely fit my finger under this side, and I have room to play on this side. I gotta cut out some rot, and I gotta patch that. I gotta jack that up and patch it. Hopefully, I mean, if I can't do that, then I'll be replacing that entirely. You know, it just goes from fixing one thing to getting roped into doing 15 more. But, yeah, and then the process found out the fuel tank is completely full of rust, dirt, and other crap. So pulled the sending unit on it, pulled the filler neck off. Also gonna have to replace the fuel filler neck. And gonna take this over there and with the power washer and clean this thing out. And then I guess try and find some way to dry it then. But that's the plan right now, and then clean up fuel tank straps, all that. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to move on to cutting out the rot here, the rot there. I got some sheet metal over in the 85 that I'm going to see if I can use to just fix that. And if not, I'm going to have to go get some thicker gauge stuff. But that's the update right now. And I'll be back once I've made some more progress. Well, this is going to be the end of the video. Part 1 of the series of the 79 and the 85 over there. 79's about to get sent off to Buddy's place to get a cross member put in because rear cab's starting to sink a little because one cross member I thought I might be able to patch is too far gone. So they're going to get that gone. But looking like a beaut from the front. Next video is going to be updates on this one after it's back, and finally starting to do some work on the red one and get that thing ready to daily drive this winter, which will be sick. So, see you guys in the next one.